Right, guys, hello, good evening. Hello, hello. How are you? How are you today?
Hi, Miss. Good evening.
Okay, give me just a moment and then we will start, all right? I'm doing good, thank you. Okay, give me just a second and we will start. All right, very good. Okay, guys, so let me show you our agenda for today. Just a moment. I will share the screen. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look. So today is our class number 4. The date is July 5th. Let's start with the second part of class number 4. Let me show you the agenda. So today we're going to start with an activity that is related to the vocabulary that we studied yesterday, okay? Remember all the adjectives, the new adjectives that we studied. So you're going to think about situations that make you feel like this, okay? Then we will continue working on Unit 2 with the listening activity and also the vocabulary on Unit 2. We're going to review clef sentences. What are clef sentences? How to use them. We're going to play a board game. And finally, a writing practice if we have enough time, okay, at the end of the class. So that is our plan for today. Let's start by checking the list. Just a moment, please. And let me check the list. I will turn off my camera while I check the attendance. Okay, let's start. Karen Acevedo. Karen? Not here. Santiago Fonseca?
Here, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Chiara Martinez?
Present, teacher.
Okay. Jorge Moreno?
Present, teacher.
Thank you. Natalia Navarro?
Present.
Okay. Diego Olarte?
Present, teacher.
All right. Manuela Ortiz? Manuela? Joan Sebastián Pavón? Okay. Beatriz Pedraza?
Present, teacher.
Thank you. Xiomara Rincón?
Present, teacher.
All right. Jessica Rios?
Present, teacher.
Okay, Karen, thank you. And thank you, Jessica. Catherine Rodriguez?
Present, Miss.
Okay, Marlon Sanchez?
Present, teacher.
Thank you. Mendy Santa?
Present, teacher.
All right. Manuel Sepúlveda?
Present, teacher.
Okay. María Alejandra Vega?
Present, teacher.
Vanessa Zambrano?
Present, teacher.
Okay, thank you. All right, guys, very good. So now that we checked the attendance, let's start with the activities for our class today. So here I have the activity. The first warm-up activity is to think of situations where you might have these feelings. For example, when I tell you I am embarrassed, okay, this is a feeling. I am embarrassed. So you need to think about 2 situations where you might feel embarrassed, okay? So for example, I tell you, the situation is I'm embarrassed. The feeling, you have to tell me the situation. A situation where I feel embarrassed is if I fall in front of an audience, imagine, right? So you are maybe on the stage, on an auditorium, and then you fall. So you will feel embarrassed, okay? This is one situation. Another situation is when you feel like you are talking to your friends and you say something silly, okay, that you didn't think very well. So then your friends laugh and then you feel embarrassed, okay? So I give you the feeling and then you have to describe 2 situations, very short situations where you may have this feeling, okay? So it's clear what we are going to do. I will give you the feeling and then each student will have to tell me 2 situations where you can have this feeling. Okay? It's clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes? Okay.
Yes, teacher.
So we're going to do it in with the roulette, or the wheel of names. So to see who will start, okay? I have your names here. Okay, the first person, who is it going to be? Beatriz. Okay. All right, so Beatriz, the situation is,
Oh my God.
yes, I am relieved. Do you know what this means, or do you remember? I am relieved.
Okay. I had relieved when I finished the homework. I finished the
Oof, relieved.
yeah. When I completed 2 tasks about job.
Okay, good. That is
Good.
perfect.
Okay.
When you complete your homework and when you finish your tasks at work. Yes, you feel relieved.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Next student. I know. Okay, let's go with the next student. It's going to be okay, Karen. Very good. Let's see. Let me go over here so you don't see all the situations at one, all the feelings. The second one, I am devastated.
I'm devastated when I study a lot for an exam of econometry. So and then I know I failed it.
Okay, you failed the test.
I failed the test, and despite I studied a lot.
Yes, you will feel devastated. I agree. Okay, very good. Thank you. Another situation. So when you fail the test, when you studied a lot, and another one.
Another one,
So,
and when I do the accounts,
and
I found out I don't have money.
okay. Yes, when you do the math and then you don't have enough money for the rest of the month, imagine. You feel devastated. Yes, Diego says when someone dies, of course, you would feel devastated. All right, very good. Let's go with another student. Spin the wheel. Okay, Maria Alejandra. Next situation is I am disillusioned. When are you feeling disillusioned?
I am disillusioned
Mhm.
when one of my friends isn't reliable.
Okay, yes, when one of your friends isn't reliable, you cannot trust friend. Okay, you're disillusioned. Another situation.
When I don't finish all the things that I want to do on in today.
Okay, this is not disillusion, but like maybe ashamed or disappointed, right? Disillusion. So you have a big illusion and then it doesn't work. So like you feel this is maybe disillusion when you are planning a trip for a long time and then you cannot go. Okay, this is when you feel disillusioned. Okay, all right, thank you. Let's go with another student. Next. Okay, Santiago. Okay, Santiago, next situation is, oh, very easy. I'm scared. So two situations for this feeling. I'm scared, stiff.
The first one, and I think everyone will agree with me, when a cockroach inside flying in the house or in my room. I hate the
Yes.
cockroach.
Okay.
And second, when the film finished and at the end of the film said it's inspired in a real event.
Yes, yeah, when you go to sleep and it's based on a true story, then you cannot sleep. Yes, when the cockroach flies, of course, yes, you are petrified, like scared stiff. Thank you, very good. Let's go another one, another student. Let's see. Okay, Vanessa. Next situation is, I am wound up. Remember what is wound up?
Es equivocado o algo así.
To be wound up. It's like worried, nervous, similar to worried or nervous. So when do you feel wound up?
I don't want up because I bought shoes.
Again, can you repeat?
I am warm up because I bought shoes. Or
You bought shoes, but is worried or nervous? Preocupado, nervioso, to be wound up. Okay. Yes, Beatriz. Nope. Okay. So yes, Beatriz gave us an example. When you have to talk to your boss, or imagine the general manager of the company, you feel like wound up, very nervous, anxious, worried even. Okay, this is the meaning of wound up. Okay, and let's do the last one for today to finish with the practice of the vocabulary. Let's see who has the next turn today. Okay, Natalia. This word, envious. When you feel envious, Natalia is here.
Okay.
Yes.
In a good way, I feel envious when someone have a lot of vacations.
Yes, and in a bad way. When do you feel envious?
I don't know, because I don't feel envious.
You don't have this feeling? Okay. But yes, so when someone has a lot of vacation days, you feel jealous or envious a little bit. Okay.
In the other is when someone travel around the world in a good way.
Yes, when someone travels around the world, you feel a little bit jealous, a little bit envious. All right, very good. Excellent, guys. So we are not going to do all the students because we have a lot of other things to cover. 1 second. Okay. So we have to cover many other things, but let's open our book. Let me show you. So here on page 20 and 21, okay? So in this part, can you see my book? Can you see what I am sharing on the screen?
Yep.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Teacher.
Okay, very good. So we're going to start with an activity. Is about listening and also vocabulary. Is about advertising and emotions. Remember the word advertising. These are examples of advertising, what we can see in the picture. So the first advertisement is for what? What can you see? The first picture.
Maybe a perfume?
Yes, this is a perfume. This is a perfume called Anais Anais. And the second one, let's see what this is for. What do you think?
Publicity campaign, maybe.
Publicity. Okay, do you think it's for a company, or what type of company is this publicity for, advertisement for?
Teacher, I think about human rights.
Yes, human rights, maybe a charity organization. Remember the word charity, foundations. I think it's related to that, okay, to one foundation or charity foundation. Okay. So before we start listening, I want to hear your opinions. Do you have any favorite ads or adverts? For example, for me particularly, I really like some perfume ads or publicity. I don't know, I think they're very fun, like elegant. They have, I don't know, some, I think it's this one. Let me Google it and I will show you. Okay, yes, so I will show you. This is some ads that I think could be good, entertaining. For example, for perfume. Can you see the screen? Yes. Okay, you can see this is like one advertisement for perfume, so you can see beautiful landscapes and all the people. So I think these type of ads are, to me, are nice, good. But are other ads, advertisement that I really, really dislike. For example, I don't know, this in national television, like Unesia, or things like disgusting things for the body creams. this really annoy me. I don't know if you have seen this type of advertisement, publicity on television. So I really don't like to see this. Okay, so I want you to think if there's any particular publicity, adverts that you like or that you hate, that you dislike, okay? And you can tell us why, okay? So I'll give you a minute or two to think, and then you can tell us, discuss with the class, okay? Okay, anyone would like to tell us, participate? Any publicity? Okay, Catherine.
I have a favorite advertising. Is I don't like the products, but I love the advertise is Coca-Cola when Christmas is arrived because I feeling so emotional. This is so beautiful. The landscape are the camion. How do you say camion?
Yeah, the truck.
The truck and the colors and lights for me is so beautiful.
Okay, yes, you like Coca-Cola adverts. And do you have any adverts that you don't really like, that annoy you?
Maybe in Colombian advertise when it's about charity, because I'm feeling so bad watching this. Maybe
about what? Can you repeat?
Like a charity or
Okay.
for people.
Yes.
They give an imagine about poor and sad. I really don't like that.
Okay. Yes, I agree. Okay, guys. Anyone else? Diego, thank you.
Okay, I love the commercial of Águila Roja for Christmas. It makes me remember my childhood.
Yes, I think we all like it. And anything that you particularly dislike or annoys you?
The Unesia at first is very horrible.
Yes, it's horrible. Okay, Marlon.
Yes, I like adverts that contain a little humor, or
okay.
For example, adverts as Sprite.
Or Red Bull, also Red Bull.
Yes. And annoyed adverts that repeatedly, constantly in YouTube.
Yes, I hate. I don't know, you haven't noticed, but I have YouTube Premium for this reason, because I really hate the ads in YouTube. So I prefer to have it. All right, excellent, guys. So now our activity is about the listening activity. We're going to listen to an interview about how the adverts appeal to our emotion, cómo apelan a nuestras emociones, affect our emotions, okay? So we're going to see, we're going to listen. Let's start listening. And well, first we're going to listen. We're going to skip this part because The activity is a little bit long, so I don't want to have a long time doing this, but we're going to skip to point number 3, okay? We're going to read the sentences before we listen. We're going to read it and check the meaning of some words if we need to clarify the vocabulary. And then we're going to listen and answer if they are true or false according to the interview, okay? So on point 3A. Let's start reading. Let's start with Jessica. Jessica, you can read number 1, please.
Yes, teacher. Many adverts point out logical benefits of a product.
Okay, very good, yes. Many adverts point out the logical benefit of a product. Good. Xiomara, you can read the second one, please, number 2.
There are important differentiating factors between makes of small cars.
Yes, important differentiating factors between makes of small cars. Vanessa, number 3, can you read it, please?
And yes, teacher. 3.
Yes.
Car appeal to people. To people's application is a range of different ways.
Yes, card ads appeals to people's aspirations in a range of different ways. Manuela, read number 4, please.
Many ads for phones and MP3 players aim to make people feel that they are part of their peer group.
Ads for MP3 players aim to make people feel that they belong to their group, right? Peer, the pares, their peer group. Let's continue, Mandy, number 5. Mandy. Mandy, not here? Okay. Marlon, can you continue this with number 5?
Number 5, teacher.
Yes.
Yes. Many adverts for luxury products try to persuade people that they should pamper themselves.
Pamper themselves. Don't worry about the vocabulary. We will check the meaning of the words later, okay? Pamper themselves. Manuel, you can read the number 6, please.
It's for charities to annoy people.
Number 6, can you repeat? I couldn't hear you very well.
Help campaign set out to annoy people.
Okay, I hear you are cutting off, but don't worry, okay? So number 6, health campaigns and adverts for charities often deliberately set out to annoy people. All right, Kiara, you can read number 7, please.
Campaigning ads can backfire if they do not put their message across strongly enough.
Okay, they can backfire. Karen, please read number 8.
Once an advert has been realized, the advertiser monitor people's responses carefully.
Okay, once the advert has been released, the advertisers monitor people's responses carefully. Jorge, read number 9, please.
Okay, teacher. Adverts for products that might be harmful are heavily regulated in many countries.
They are heavily regulated in many countries. And finally, Beatriz, number 10.
Humorous adverts for gambling subtly flatter people. Flatter people.
Flatter people, yeah. Humorous advert for gambling subtly flatter people. Okay, so I have here some of these words that we can clarify the meaning of. And after that, we will check again to see if we have any other words that are still new or unknown for us, okay? So we have the word to pamper. To pamper is to give someone special treatment, making this person feel good, comfortable, and giving them whatever they want. So think, how can you say to pamper in Spanish? To give someone a special treatment, to treat them very well, to offer something to drink, making them feel very comfortable. How can you say to pamper?
Mimado?
Yes, como consentir, mimar. Yes, to pamper is an action. So I pamper my niece, for example. Consiento o mimo a mi sobrina, okay? So to treat them very well, buy things, give them this person to make them feel comfortable. Okay, then we have the phrasal verb to set out. This is to start an activity with a particular objective, okay? So I set out to do this, okay? I start doing this. To flatter, okay? The verb to flatter is to praise, say nice things to others, to make them feel attractive or important. But sometimes this is not sincere, okay? So to flatter, I say nice things, good things to make you feel attractive or important. How can you say this in Spanish? No idea?
No.
We can say halagar, to flatter, okay? But in English, it has like a small connotation that sometimes this is not very sincere. El flatter, no, dice, a veces no es muy sincero, okay? So it's like a little negative connotation. And finally, we have to backfire, for example, of a plan. If the plan backfires, is that it has the opposite result that the one you intended, okay? So the plan backfired for me, okay? So it went the opposite result that why I intended. Do you have any idea how to say this in Spanish?
Miss, acá en Colombia decimos como le salió el tiro por la culata o algo así.
Exactly, yes, this is what it means. When something backfires on you, le salió el tiro por la culata, yes. It's the same. This refers to guns, right? Eso hace referencia como a las armas. Esto es igual, okay? The backfire. Okay, so this is some of the new vocabulary that we had here. Let's read it again, and you can tell me if you have any other doubts, okay? So, 1, adverts point out, señalan, point out the logical benefits of a product. Los beneficios lógicos. Number 2, there are important differentiating factors between makes of small cars. Eso significa tipos de carros pequeños. Okay? Diferentes marcas o tipos, makes of small cars. Car ads appeal to people's aspirations in a range of different ways. Un rango de maneras diferentes. 4, many ads for phones and MP3 players aim to make people feel that they are part of a group, un grupo de pares, peer group. 5, many adverts for luxury products try to persuade people that they should pamper themselves. Health campaigns and adverts for charities often deliberately set out to annoy people. deliberadamente se crean, empiezan para molestar a la gente, okay? Annoy people. Campaigning ads can backfire if they do not put their message across. Okay, esta expresión, to put your message across. Como dar el mensaje, dar tu mensaje de manera fuerte, okay? O fuertemente, strongly enough. Once an advert has been released, the advertisers monitor the people's responses carefully. And then adverts for products that might be harmful are heavily regulated in many countries. 10, humorous adverts for gambling. Do you know what is gambling?
¿Apuestas?
Yes, apuestas, gambling. Subtly flatter people. Sutilmente halagan a las personas, okay? Okay, so it's clear, all the vocabulary. I think we don't have any questions in this part. Okay, so we are going to listen and then you are going to answer if this is true or false according to the interview, okay? The interview that we're going to hear. So I will play the audio for you.
Unit 2, Recording 2.
Okay, so listen, this audio is 6 minutes long. It's very long. So I'm going to play it only once and I will put the transcript. So in case you can read, take your notes and pay attention and then you answer true or false, okay? I will put the transcript for to give you a little bit more help because it's a very long audio, okay? So let's start.
Unit 2, Recording 2.
Can you hear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
And now for Inside Track, the slot where we get to ask an industry insider about some of the secrets of their trade. Today we're talking to advertising insider Andrew Trulides about how adverts appeal to our emotions. Welcome to the programme, Andrew. Tell me, do you think most adverts appeal to our emotions?
Not necessarily. Actually, I think a lot of advertising is rational.
Define what you mean by rational advertising.
Well, if the ad points out certain features and benefits that are superior to the competitors, then that's a rational appeal. The most obvious rational appeal is price. So if the advert says our supermarket or our brand is better value for money than the other ones, then that's a rational appeal. Or, you know, this washing powder cleans better, or this car uses less fuel. Those are all appealing to our logic.
So how does that contrast with an advert that appeals to our emotions, then?
Well, say if the washing powder advert shows a mother wrapping her baby in a soft towel or happy children running around in the garden, getting dirty while their mother smiles and washes their clothes, that's an emotional appeal because the advert is saying, if you use this washing powder, it shows that you love your children. It shows you're a good mother.
But surely what most people prefer is straightforward facts and information. Why do advertisers feel the need to make an emotional appeal?
One problem is that facts and information can be very boring. I mean, talking about the mileage and fuel consumption of a car, for example, is pretty dull. And if you take cars, small cars, say, to be honest, these days most of them are pretty much the same under the bonnet. There aren't really many differentiating factors in terms of quality. So the ad tries to bring in a sense of excitement, maybe suggest a sense of the adventures that you might have in your new car, or in some other way appeal to people's aspirations. Maybe it makes them feel that other people will look up to them if they buy this particular car. It's interesting that a lot of advertising for expensive luxury cars, like, say, a BMW, is aimed at people who will never be able to afford that car. But the idea is that the people who do buy the BMW, they feel that other people will envy them for having that car. It gives them kudos, increases their credibility, makes them feel ahead of the game.
So ads try to make us feel superior to other people?
Not always. Other ads might be about fitting in with your peer group, being one of the gang. This is true of a lot of advertising for fashion or music. For gadgets like, say, phones or iPods, the message is that if you haven't got one of these, then you're left out. You're not part of the group.
So basically, they're trying to make us feel good about ourselves one way or another.
One way or another, yes. You know, going back to that supermarket or food brand, some adverts basically say, we're not the cheapest, we're a luxury, but you deserve a luxury. You deserve to pamper yourself. So you see someone sitting with their feet up, enjoying the chocolate, or lying by the pool of a luxury hotel eating the ice cream. There was one brand of beer a few years ago whose slogan was reassuringly expensive. And the message there is, treat yourself, you're worth the best.
And this obviously means the company can charge more for the product.
Yes, that's how you create a valuable brand. People feel they are paying for a particular benefit, whether it's a particular brand of t-shirt that makes them feel cool or whatever.
And do ads ever appeal to negative emotions? Do they ever try to upset people or deliberately annoy them?
They would never deliberately set out to annoy people, but some ads definitely set out to shock people, especially things like public health campaigns. The anti-smoking campaigns we've had in this country are probably the best example of that. It's often charity ads which appeal to negative emotions, funnily enough. You know, shock people or make them feel guilty. And that's just a numbers game, really. With a certain percentage of people, that will work and they will donate to the charity.
Does that sort of thing ever backfire?
Yes, it can backfire if you use the wrong tone of voice. People don't like being shouted or lectured at in ads. So if charities or health campaigns do that, they can really turn people off.
But surely advertisers must test their ads to check they have the right effect.
Oh, absolutely. All ads are pre-tested with focus groups to monitor people's emotional responses and make sure they have the kind of effect that's intended. You know, how did that particular word make you feel? How do you feel when you see that image? That kind of thing. These days, advertising companies often set up discussion groups online and check responses in different countries. Something like the Nike slogan, "Just do it," that will have been tested all over the world to check that it has the right emotional effect on people in different places.
And are there any restrictions on the kind of appeal you can make to people's emotions? Do the government have any rules about this sort of thing, for products that might be considered bad for people, for example?
Oh, yes. In most countries, things like beer advertisements, for example, are very heavily regulated. So you can't show people under 25 in them, for example. But you also can't appeal to certain emotions. You can't show too much enjoyment, sexual achievement, etc., etc. You can't make the ad too funny. It can be a bit funny, but not too funny.
Interesting. That's something we haven't really talked about. Lots of ads seem to appeal to our sense of humour. How does that work?
Well, I think it's often the case that the advertisers simply feel they should entertain people, you know, if they're taking up their time in the breaks between TV programmes. But there can be a bit more to it than that. It's interesting that a lot of ads for online gaming and betting use humour. The message there is basically, OK, we all know that betting is a bit silly and not very good for you, but hey, it's fun, and you're the kind of person who likes a bit of fun.
So once again, in a sense, it's subtly flattering people's self-image.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, we've run out of time, sadly, Andrew, but thanks very much. That was fascinating. And now the news and weather. We go over today to...
Okay, guys. So we have our audio is very, very long. So tell me, do you have the answers for the questions, or do you need to listen again? Or I'll give you some time to think. What do you think? Do you need to listen again, or you have the answers and you can answer?
Teacher, listen again, please.
Yes,
maybe teacher listen again and start when the answer for
and give you the answers. Okay. Yeah, let's do it like this. We can check. Yeah, because it's a very long audio, so we will stop to see if we have the answers in each case. Okay, let's listen one more time.
Unit 2, Recording 2.
And now for Inside Track, the slot where we get to ask an industry insider about some of the secrets of their trade. Today we're talking to advertising insider Andrew Trulides about how adverts appeal to our emotions. Welcome to the programme, Andrew. Tell me, do you think most adverts appeal to our emotions?
Not necessarily. Actually, I think a lot of advertising is rational.
Define what you mean by rational advertising.
Well, if the ad points out certain features and benefits that are superior to the competitors, then that's a rational appeal. The most obvious rational appeal is price. So if the advert says our supermarket or our brand is better value for money than the other ones, then that's a rational appeal. Or, this washing powder cleans better, or this car uses less fuel. Those are all appealing to our logic.
So how does that...
Okay, so there we have the answer for the first one. Many others point out the logical benefits of a product. What do you think?
True.
Yes, this is true.
That contrast with an advert that appeals to our emotions, then?
Well, say if the washing powder advert shows a mother wrapping her baby in a soft towel, or happy children running around in the garden, getting dirty while their mother smiles and washes their clothes, that's an emotional appeal, because the advert is saying, if you use this washing powder, it shows that you love your children. It shows you're a good mother.
But surely what most people prefer is straightforward facts and information. Why do advertisers feel the need to make an emotional appeal?
One problem is that facts and information can be very boring. I mean, talking about the mileage and fuel consumption of a car, for example, is pretty dull. And if you take cars, small cars, say, to be honest, these days most of them are pretty much the same under the bonnet. There aren't really many differentiating factors in terms of quality.
Okay, so there we have the answer for the second one. There are important... Yes, important differentiating factors between the small cars. It's false. It says they are pretty much the same, okay, or very, very similar in terms of quality. Okay.
So the ad tries to bring in a sense of excitement, maybe suggest a sense of the adventures that you might have in your new car, or in some other way appeal to people's aspirations. Maybe it makes them feel that other people will look up to them if they buy this particular car. It's interesting that a lot of advertising for expensive luxury cars, like, say, a BMW, is aimed at people who will never be able to afford that car. But the idea is that the people who do buy the BMW, they feel that other people will envy them for having that car. It gives them kudos, increases their credibility, makes them feel ahead of the game.
Okay, so we have number 3.
True.
What is the answer?
True.
This is true. Very good.
So ads try to make us feel superior to other people?
Not always. Other ads might be about fitting in with your peer group, being one of the gang. This is true of a lot of advertising for fashion or music. For gadgets like, say, phones or iPods, the message is that if you haven't got one of these, then you're left out. You're not part of the group.
Okay, number 4.
True.
It's true that they make people feel like they belong to their group.
So basically, they're trying to make us feel good about ourselves one way or another.
One way or another, yes. Going back to that supermarket or food brand, some adverts basically say, we're not the cheapest, we're a luxury, but you deserve a luxury. You deserve to pamper yourself. So you see someone sitting with their feet up, enjoying the chocolate, or lying by the pool of a luxury hotel eating the ice cream. There was one brand of beer a few years ago whose slogan was reassuringly expensive. And the message there is, treat yourself, you're worth the best.
Okay, so we have number 5.
True.
It is true. It's also true.
And this obviously means the company can charge more for the product.
Yes, that's how you create a valuable brand. People feel they are paying for a particular benefit, whether it's a particular brand of t-shirt that makes them feel cool or whatever.
And do ads ever appeal to negative emotions? Do they ever try to upset people or deliberately annoy them?
They would never deliberately set out to annoy people, but some ads definitely set out to shock people, especially things like public health campaigns. The anti-smoking campaigns we've had in this country are probably the best example of that. It's often charity ads which appeal to negative emotions, funnily enough. Shock people or make them feel guilty. And that's just a numbers game, really. With a certain percentage of people, that will work and they will donate to the charity.
Okay, so number 6.
False.
It is false. They say that they will never deliberately set out to annoy people, but they do want to shock people.
Does that sort of thing ever backfire?
Yes, it can backfire if you use the wrong tone of voice. People don't like being shouted or lectured at in ads. So if charities or health campaigns do that, they can really turn people off.
But surely advertisers must test their ads to check they have the right effect.
Okay, so we have the other one. Campaigns can backfire if they do not put the message across strongly enough.
True.
True?
Yes.
Let's see.
Don't need give the strongly message.
Yes.
Or use the voice.
The wrong tone of voice. So the answer is not that it backfires because you don't put your message strong enough, but if you use the wrong tone of voice, okay? So this is false. Okay. F, okay. Continue.
Oh, absolutely. All ads are pre-tested with focus groups to monitor people's emotional responses and make sure they have the kind of effect that's intended. You know, how did that particular word make you feel? How do you feel when you see that image? That kind of thing. These days, advertising companies often set up discussion groups online and check responses in different countries. Something like the Nike slogan, "Just do it," that will have been tested all over the world to check that it has the right emotional effect on people in different places.
Okay, so number 8, what is the answer?
Maybe true, miss?
Of course, yes. The people are monitored carefully. It's true.
And are there any restrictions on the kind of appeal you can make to people's emotions? Do the government have any rules about this sort of thing, for products that might be considered bad for people, for example?
Oh, yes. In most countries, things like beer advertisements, for example, are very heavily regulated. So you can't show people under 25 in them, for example. But you also can't appeal to certain emotions. You can't show too much enjoyment, sexual achievement, etc., etc. You can't make the ad too funny. It can be a bit funny, but not too funny.
Okay, so number 9.
True, teacher.
True.
It's also true. Okay, and the last one.
Interesting. That's something we haven't really talked about. Lots of ads seem to appeal to our sense of humour. How does that work?
Well, I think it's often the case that the advertisers simply feel they should entertain people, you know, if they're taking up their time in the breaks between TV programmes. But there can be a bit more to it than that. It's interesting that a lot of ads for online gaming and betting use humour. The message there is basically, OK, we all know that betting is a bit silly and not very good for you, but hey, it's fun, and you're the kind of person who likes a bit of fun.
So once again, in a sense, it's subtly flattering people's self-image.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, we've run out of time, sadly, Andrew, but thanks very much. That was fascinating. And now the news and weather.
Okay, so what is the answer for number 9?
True.
It is also true. That these adverts subtly flatter people. Yes, they flatter people. Okay, very good. Okay, guys, listen. So we finished with our vocabulary practice about emotions. We have also about advertising. Now, in this last part of the class, we're going to focus on the next topic, which is about cleft sentences, okay? So let's take a look on page 21. Page 21, we have a grammar box about cleft sentences. So we have the sentences in part B in each pair so that it has the same information about sentence A. So we have done this type of exercises in the past. For example, most people prefer a straightforward facts. So you need to rewrite the sentence for the second to have the same meaning as the first sentence. So this is like a short introduction to cleft sentences. Let's see if you can do it. if you think it's easy or difficult, and then we will study a little bit more. We will explain what are cleft sentences and how to use them, okay? So let's rewrite the sentence with the word what or the word it's to have the same meaning as sentence A, okay? I'll give you a couple of minutes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then we check the answers together. All right, so let's check your answers, guys. Let's see, any volunteer for the first sentence? You can raise your hand. Tell me your answer. Most people prefer straightforward facts. Say, okay, Santiago.
What people most prefer is straightforward facts.
Again, what?
What most people prefer is straightforward facts.
Yes. What most people prefer are straightforward facts. Okay, what most people prefer are straightforward facts. Very good. Okay, so we say are and not is because facts are general, right? They are, plural, more than one. So we use are. And for the second one, I saw Kiara, you had your hand raised. So let's see.
It's often charity ads is appeal to negative emotions.
Charities ads often appeal to negative emotion. It is charity ads who often appeal to negative emotions. Okay, let's see here. Or that appeal. What most people prefer is straightforward facts. I would say are. They say is. Well, both are possible. And it's often charity ads that people appeal to negative emotions. Who also. Okay, aquí también podemos usar el who porque hablamos de las charity ads. Okay, that appeal to negative emotions. So we're going to watch a website. Let me open the link with a short explanation of clef sentences and how to use them before we continue over here, okay? So this is a website. You can check it. We're going to read it together, analyze it, and then we will practice clef sentences, okay? So clef sentences are used to give emphasis, to add emphasis to different parts of the sentence, okay? So we have the sentence here first. We have different structures to give emphasis. Today we will focus on the clef sentences. They allow us to emphasize different parts depending on which part is more important for us, okay? Generally, clef sentences start with it or with what, as you can see here. What or it, okay? Or it's. Let's see the clef sentences that start with it, okay? We have a sentence, you invited me to the party yesterday. So we can change this sentence to give emphasis to different parts of this sentence. We emphasize them by fronting these elements, fronting, como ponerlos al frente, ¿no? Fronting these elements, moving them to the front of the sentence using it plus be. This is el it más es. It is, esa es como la estructura de esa clef sentence, it más el verbo to be, it is. Tenemos la oración base, you invited me to the party yesterday. If I want to give emphasis to the subject, you, it was you who invited me. Fuiste tú quien me invitó, okay? It was you who invited me to the party yesterday. Give emphasis on the subject you. If I want to emphasize the day, yesterday, it was yesterday that you invited me to the party, okay? We give emphasis to yesterday. And finally, the party, we want to emphasize the party. It was the party that you invited me to yesterday, okay? So we take it plus was or it plus the verb to be, and we put the element that we want to emphasize first, okay, at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, are we clear? until this part so far for the clef sentence? No questions? Okay. If you have any questions while we are talking about this, let me know, okay? Then we have a clef sentence that starts with what. We have what plus the verb to be. This is very common in spoken English. We emphasize the sentence that is after what. Entonces tenemos una cláusula, what, y a lo que le damos énfasis es a lo que sigue después. Talking about the film. For example, what I like best about going to the cinema, lo que me gusta más de ir al cinema es, entonces el énfasis lo estamos dando en esta última frase que viene después de la cláusula what, okay? What I don't like is, etc. Or what I prefer is, and the next clause, okay? So, what drives me up the wall, esto es una frase como lo que me molesta. What drives me up the wall, drives me crazy, is people talking during the film. This is what. La cláusula, what clause, más el verbo to be, ¿no? What I hate is, what I don't like is, what I prefer is, okay? Or what I found was that the films my friends liked were very different from the ones I liked, okay? So this is more or less a summary for clef sentences with it and with was. We're not going to talk about where, why, or who, because they are not that common. And in this part of the unit, we are going to focus on clef sentences that start with it and clef sentences that start with what, okay? So let's see. We have some examples here. Let's read them together, and then we see if we have any questions. Let's start reading. For example, Vanessa, you can read the first example. I didn't invite them.
Yes, teacher. I didn't invite them. It wasn't me who invited them.
It wasn't me who invited them. Manuela, the second example.
I began to suspect something. It was then that I began to suspect something.
It was then that I began to suspect something. Mandy, you can read the third example, please. Mandy is not in class. Maria, the third example.
You should tell her the truth. What you should do is tell her the truth.
Okay, what you should do is tell her the truth. And finally, Diego, the last example.
What I like about her is the way she smiles.
What I like about her is the way she smiles. Okay, so let's see. We have some questions here. I will show you the answers so we can understand a little bit better the clef sentences here. Okay, we are going to analyze the questions with the answers. So in the first one, what is the difference in emphasis between the sentences in each pair? Okay, so we have that in the second, so in the clef sentence, the information is that is emphasized always comes after the verb to be, okay? Lo que se enfatiza siempre viene después del verbo to be. It wasn't me, no fui yo, it wasn't me. It was then, fue entonces, it was then, el tiempo es lo que estamos enfatizando, okay? It was then. Lo que se enfatiza siempre va después del verbo to be. What you should do is, tell her the truth. Okay, el énfasis. What I like is the way she smiles. Lo que me gusta es su forma de sonreír. Okay, the emphasis goes after the verb to be. What changes in the construction of the sentence? If we want to focus on a person or time, we use a cleft sentence starting with it. Okay, when we start with a person or a time, it wasn't me, it was them. We use it. When we want to focus on an idea or an action, we use the sentence, the cleft sentence starting with what, okay? Cuando hablamos de personas o momento, dice, persona o tiempo, usamos el it. Para hablar de ideas o acciones, usamos el what. Lo que me gusta, lo que prefiero, what I like, what I think, okay? Usamos el what. We use the it clause, we use the verb after it. El verbo to be va después del it, okay? It is me, it is her. El verbo to be en la cláusula what, we put the be at the end of the clause, okay? Vamos a ver la construcción de las dos. Acá dice, it wasn't me, entonces el verbo to be viene después del it, justo después. Verbo to be, okay? It was, después del verbo to be. Aquí, what you should do is, nos dice, esto se llama la cláusula what, okay? Todo esto es la cláusula what. Entonces, el verbo to be va después de esa cláusula. Aquí va después del it, okay? It wasn't, o it was, o it is. Con what va después de la cláusula what. What I don't like o what you should do. Toda esa es la cláusula. El verbo to be viene justo después de esa cláusula. Okay? That is the difference between it and what cleft sentences. Okay? Y acá nos dice, bueno, esto es un poquito más complejo, lo del pronombre relativo. El it siempre va seguido de un pronombre relativo. Fuiste tú, o fue él, fue entonces, ¿ok? Como hablamos de personas o momentos, tiempos, eso se llama un pronombre relativo. Fui yo acá, it wasn't me, o it was then, fue cuando. Esos son pronombres relativos, relative pronouns, okay? But don't worry about that, it's a little complicated. What we need to focus on today is how to use what or it to create the cleft sentences, okay? So, do we have questions, doubts? Do you want to make any questions? Nope. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to practice. We are going to start practicing with these sentences in point number 5. You are going to rewrite them using or as a cleft sentence, okay? You have words in parentheses here, what, it, what. So you're going to rewrite the sentence as a cleft sentence with what or with it, okay? You have 9 sentences, so I will help you with the first one and then you can do the rest, okay? The sentence says you need a few days rest and recreation. I would say what you need is a few days rest and recreation, okay? This is the cleft sentence. So you're going to do the same with all the others. If you have questions while you are doing it, please let me know, okay? And we will check them together. Okay, guys, are you ready? Or do you need a bit more time?
A minute, please.
All right. Okay, guys, ready? Can we check? Yes. Maybe. Okay. Let's start. So let's see. Okay. Let's see, for example, Karen, for the second sentence. Money is the thing people care about most nowadays. How did you write it?
Sure, but I write it is money.
It is money.
Sorry, teacher.
Can you repeat?
I'm not sure, but I write this. It is money that people care about most nowadays.
Yes, it is correct. It is money that people care about most nowadays. Yes, this is correct. Okay, the third one, sorry, let's hear Catherine.
Yes, Miss number 3. What we need is someone to help us, not someone to criticize.
Yes. What we need is someone to help us, not someone to criticize. Very good. Next, Beatriz, number 4.
Teacher, maybe what do you like is way he always listens sympathetically?
Not exactly. Yes, let's see. So what I like about him, because the sentence is, I like the way that he listens sympathetically. I have to use what. So what I like about him, lo que me gusta de él, ¿no? Aquí como dice él, la manera en que él escucha, entonces lo que me gusta de él, what I like about him is the way he listens sympathetically. Okay, this is a clear sentence. Let's see, for example, Madeline, number 5, his attitude.
Teacher, no alcancé, pero lo hacemos aquí.
Okay.
It was attitude towards other people really annoys me.
Yes, yeah, kind of. It is his attitude towards other people that really annoys me, okay? It is his attitude. What?
Tengo una pregunta.
Yes.
¿Cuándo se usa, por ejemplo, en la segunda it was money. And en esta es it is his attitude.
Ah, okay, let's see. Sorry, I made a mistake. It's not was. In number 2 is also is. Okay. En la número 2 también es is. Okay. No, no
Okay.
es was. En was sería, por ejemplo, acá con didn't. Okay. Porque está en pasado. La oración. Okay. So it's in present, we use the present. It's in past, we use past. Okay. It's his attitude towards others that really annoys me. Yes, Manuel?
Can we use what?
Is his attitude what really annoys me? No, in this case, remember we talked about, we studied these relative pronouns. Esto lo vimos cuando hablamos de los pronombres relativos, el who, el that, el which. ¿Recuerdan? Remember? Eso. It is him who did that. It is the house that I don't like, ¿ok? Entonces, en este tipo de oraciones, no recuerdo cuál era el tema exactamente. Sí, los pronombres relativos, eso lo vimos del that y el which y el who y cuando los usábamos. En esos casos no usamos el what, ¿ok? Eso es como una traducción que hacemos del español. El qué o el cuál, ¿ok? En ese caso, el qué y el cuál, en esas oraciones usamos o which, o who, o that, ¿ok? Si empieza la oración, sí usamos el what. Lo que no me gusta es esto, ¿ok?
Okay, teacher, so which is possible to use it then?
Yes, it is, let's see, it is his attitude. I will write it here. Attitude towards other people that really annoys me. It's his attitude which really annoys me. Yes, you can also say which, but it's more common to use that, okay? Especially in clear sentences. You can also use which. All right, and number 6, let's see, for example, Xiomara. I don't understand why you had to lie to me.
Oh, teacher. What I don't understand why you had to lie to me.
Okay, what I don't understand is why you had to lie to me. Lo que no entiendo es por qué. What I understand is why you had to lie to me. Okay, Jessica, number 7. I didn't decide to take a shortcut across country.
It wasn't decide to take a shortcut across country.
It wasn't who, no fue quién, no fui
Okay.
yo. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me decide to take a shortcut.
It wasn't me who decided to take a shortcut. Okay, this one is, I think, the most like tricky. The use of it wasn't me. Cuando tengo no decidí, yo no decidí tomar un atajo a través del país, ¿sí? No fui yo, ¿quién? Entonces, ahí sí podemos como intentar hacer la transformación en español. Yo no decidí, debo empezar con it. No fui yo, ¿quién? ¿Ok? It wasn't me who decided to take a shortcut. Entonces, ahí el énfasis está en el sujeto, en este caso, yo, ¿ok? Wasn't me who decided to do it. Okay. Number 8. Let's see, for example, Natalia. The world needs love, peace, and understanding.
What the world needs is love, peace, and understanding.
Yes, yes. What the world needs is love, peace, and understanding. Very good. And finally, let's see, maybe Manuela, number 9.
No, teacher, I don't have answer for that one.
Okay, let's see, any volunteer? Vanessa?
It was then that everything became clear.
Yes, it is correct. Yes, Manuel, it was then. Yes, Manuel?
No, teacher, my mistake. Sorry.
Okay. Yes, it was then, fue entonces, que todo se volvió claro, okay? O se aclaró. It was then that everything became clear, all right? Okay, I know it's a bit tricky, difficult, this topic. So to finish today, you will have 10 minutes. You are going to work in groups and you're going to do a little writing activity, but in the groups, okay? So I will send you the link in just a moment for the second group. Okay, here we have it. Okay, so you have 7 sentences because number 1 is already there. What I dislike about my city is the terrible traffic and pollution. So you're going to discuss and write endings for these sentences, for the 7 sentences that we have over here, okay? You can do it in groups. You don't need to write the complete sentence, only what is missing, okay? The missing part in the sentences. Okay, it's clear what we need to do?
Yes.
Okay, let's work. We will have, this is the link. We'll have 7 groups in total, so I will create the groups immediately. I think, yes, some groups will have 3 students and some will have 2, okay? Let's work very quickly. We have 10 minutes. Okay, you can go to the breakout rooms.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, guys. Okay, you divided the sentences. You will work individually.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Los últimos. Tiene.
Okay.
Okay. Teacher?
Yes, tell me.
Teacher, in this exercise, we have to complete with words that I want.
Yes, it's your own ideas.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, teacher. No problem. Only the words.
Yes,
Yes,
only the missing words, not the complete sentence. Only the missing.
Okay, teacher.
Phrases
No.
for the what's this? Hi, teacher.
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
And having some technical problems.
About the
Well,
presentation? You have problems with the presentation?
yes, I'm working
No.
through my
Through your cell phone.
yes, and
No,
Jorge is
when
trying
we
to
try to share our screen.
print,
Not
but
possible.
Yes.
Okay.
could you send a screenshot of the activity through the WhatsApp group, please, teacher?
Yes. One moment, please.
Thank you. So, well, Jorge, there are 8 phrases. So, what do you think if each one take 4 and
Hi, teacher.
Hello, girls.
Have to speak with our classmates. Hi, teacher.
Hello.
It's that I find really difficult in English. Um,
What is it?
the speech.
Is speak, yes. I don't know how to say express all that I think.
Okay.
Oh, your thinking and emotions or feelings.
No, ideas.
Ideas.
Oh, ok, en español, sorry. Hay ideas, cosas que pues yo quiero decir en inglés, pero no sé cómo lo diría porque pues traduzco literalmente y me quedo como que no, eso no suena bien.
Okay, yes. So you find difficult to express all of your ideas in English.
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
What my country 6. What my country needs. Money.
No.
Zero corruption.
Serious person or is a real person or is
Loyal, loyal person or loyal government
yeah.
is loyal.
Not loyal, maybe uncorruptible.
Uncorruptible.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss. You are
You're
the
welcome.
best.
You're welcome.
Hi, teacher. We already finished.
Okay, you finished? Let's check. Let me check
Yes,
quickly.
teacher. Okay.
You can see the screen? Okay. What I really like about my city is the food, okay? It's the corruption in my country that really angry me? No. Angry is not a verb, okay? Angry es un adjetivo. Aquí debe ser un verbo, okay? It's the corruption that really, okay?
¿Cómo se dice enojar?
How do
Anger?
you say enojar?
Excuse me, teacher.
The verb,
I'm
the
tired.
verb, the verb in English doesn't exist enojar. You can say that makes me angry, que me hace enojar, okay? That
Okay,
makes
teacher.
me angry is this, okay? It's what I really like to do in my English class is learning a new language. Okay. No, this one, what I would really like to do, lo que de verdad me gustaría hacer en mi clase de inglés es.
Okay.
Okay, so what activities? I don't know, like more speaking or I don't know, write long text, whatever, okay? Something that you would really like to do in the English class. Number 5, it's speaking that I find really difficult in English, okay? What my country needs is honest people, okay? It was my mom who taught me to love. Very sweet, that sentence. And number 8, what I don't understand about Laliendra is why he is famous. Okay, me neither. I agree with this. All right, very good. Okay, guys, excellent. Thank you.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay, we're going to close this and go back to the main meeting. Okay. Okay, I think everyone is back. All right, guys. Very good. So thank you. I will check your activities tomorrow and I will do some annotations, observations if it's necessary in the sentences, all right? So you can finish this activity tonight or tomorrow morning. I will check them tomorrow in the afternoon, okay? Thank you, guys. That is all.
Okay, good night. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher, thank you.
Bye-bye, teacher. Thank
Bye-bye.